I don't know. There's another bomb there. Okay. You have two options here. Going through the left, in my opinion, or hitting this lever at least, is the easier way to go. I don't, but then again, I'm on this mode, there's probably no easier way to go, but it's only this first, I mean, there's 3 lights here. If you get by this, which it doesn't really matter if I mean, would I start here? If you hit the other level, you would have to go through this, and you see all these wires and everything. It's, I don't know, to me it's a little more frustrating, but and again, you would have to go through this section too. So that's like the easier route. I don't know, if, at least for me it is. That's the stealth section. The thing is, there's a lot of checkpoints here, so even if you mess up, it's not a big deal. I mean, there's going to be blood on the ground here, which is kind of annoying. I just don't like running in the opposite direction often, but sometimes it throws me off. If suddenly I have to run and push the stick the opposite way. But, so because I don't know, you're still running around here. One part I can envisage, imagine dying a few times is when I get the rocket launcher. I just can't seem to... I can't seem to hit the guy the right way. I don't... It's hard. You fire it, and then he keeps moving, like, from ahead, and if you keep missing, I guess, he just, he crawls, like, right up towards you. It's not even a big deal, because on this point, like, again, you don't need any ammo or anything, and there's a lot of checkpoints. None of the checkpoints are changed in any of the modes. When you play on casual or this, all of the checkpoints are the same. But in all honesty, it does feel like at times, it feels like the checkpoints are longer in certain cases. It's probably because of the extra enemies and traps. It just feels a lot longer to get through a lot of the sections, but, because there are games there that exist where when you play on harder modes, they make longer checkpoints in sections. But on this, the checkpoints are at least the same, but... See, I don't get that. Like, you had to sit there for about, like, 5 to 10 seconds just going up in the elevator before it cut to black. And then stop, and then, you know, you appear at the top, but, I don't know why they just don't cut it to black, like, sooner, but...
It can't be.
You're looking at yourself laying in the tub. What is going on?
Sebastian?
No, Kidman.
Sebastian, listen to me. Stop. Your interests are the same as ours.
Look, I get it. You're not just some rookie detective, and this is not just some ordinary kid. You killed Joseph and you shot me. So right at this moment, that's enough reason for me not to trust you.
You're a good man. That's why It doesn't matter anymore. If you know who this kid is, if you know anything, you know why he can't be allowed to live.
Bullshit. It's Ruvik. He's the one that... Leslie, stop.
Leslie, I've been chasing you the whole game, and this is what happens.
Leslie!
This is kind of like a typical day for me. It's kind of funny watching that, because on this mode, you know, you can't get clipped on the shin by an enemy, but I get thrown across the hall and I'm fine. Well, not there. Oh, what there's running sequence and I don't know, I screwed. I mean, they put a lot of checkpoints in between here. They make this like, especially from playing on this mode, if you get through like all of this, I mean, it is kind of consoling in a way to know that you don't need any ammo or anything, and with all the checkpoints, it's not a big... What is going on? I think in casual mode you only have to hit like one hand and it goes to the next sequence. I'm not... Oh man. Maybe that's what I should do, is just go on Twitch and make highlights of like every single death I've experienced during this playthrough. And put some like some really like peppy pop music to it. Oh man, I'm gonna keep dying here. Why am I can't seem to hit this right. What is going on with the shit? Oh, this is too loud. I can't even, like... Alright, well that's kind of confusing. I didn't even feel like I got a chance there. I mean, I like this game. I think it's, for me, it was like, as far as fun is concerned, it's more fun playing on the standard difficulty, like survival mode. At least for myself, playing on AKUMU mode was more about, for me, getting the trophy and it's very... I remember the first playthrough was so... I got so frustrated, like, playing. I mean, there were some, like, places I'd get stuck in. I remember one in particular, I must have died 70 times or more, and it took me 4 hours to get through like one section. Why am I don't really want to be dying here over and over again. It just seems like I'm not... I can't hit it. I'm not hitting it. That's the problem. Like, man, my coordination is just not good with this. It's just it is funny though, because I keep mentioning these different modes, and there is actually on the lowest or the easiest difficulty, they call it casual. I don't know why, but it's not really... I don't see anything casual like that. The word casual can be stuck to in this game. Like I'm casually playing this game. I never feel that way. Even if... But if you're playing on that mode, I mean, all you have to do is machine gun one hand, and I think it just goes to the next sequence. I mean, it seems like if I just am off a little bit here and fire off to the left or right, it's over. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I got farther that time, and I still... I have no... I could have. I don't remember though. I have played the fifth one when I had the PS3, and it was like a while. It was a few years ago, I think. And I have a platinum trophy on that, so I don't know if that means I played it on. I'm not sure unless it was on something plus. It was so long ago, I can't really remember. Man, you can't even be off here by like... It's like 4 hours from now I'll still be here firing a machine gun. After going through the whole gauntlet section like that, like I mean I have Resident Evil 5. That was a long time ago I played that though, so I can't remember. I can imagine it being like that. That's one of the problems I think I had with... Because I'm remembering to myself, you know, when I played the fifth one, and I never played the fourth one, it's sort of... I don't know, I'm so used to... When I played Resident Evil, the first one, and the second one, and the third, it just feels more of that horror survival type game to me, and then I don't know what happened to it. With this game, there's a couple chapters that are action or combat oriented, it seems, which to me is not, I don't always like. But for the most part, this game seems to keep like a lot of the horror survival stuff intact. It doesn't do a lot of this. Like in chapter 12, you mount a machine gun at one point, and I think that's the only point you do that aside from this. Well, I got through it that time. I don't know. I hate that. Why? I played, I think, 1, 2, and 3, and 5. It's so hard to even think of 5, though, because it was so long ago, and I don't know if I would come to think of it. I mean, with the modes, I don't really remember. This part is kind of annoying to me. I don't... He'll just crawl up to me and kill me. I don't know where to hit him. I messed up real bad right there. That's it for me. I mean, only when they put the targets out that I know that you... I've had him crawl up to me, though, without having any targets appear, so... What? What just happened? I didn't die there? I have no idea how I did that right there. I mean, I didn't even hit one of the targets that appeared, so... Go to the left. Camera to the left, go to the left, and fire. Did I hit him? You still get swallowed. I don't know, you still get hit in the mouth. I guess I died. I didn't mean to skip any. I don't know what happened. The first two came out, what? Were they on the first PlayStation? When the fourth one came out, what system did it come out on? Because I had a PS1, a PS2, I have a PS3. Actually, I probably still have all of them somewhere, but... Okay, I missed him there, definitely. I mean, I played 5 on the PS3. Was 4 on the PS2 or the PS3? On the GameCube. It's hard for me to think of, like, Nintendo. I keep thinking in my head of, like, a more cartoonish thing coming out with Resident Evil on... God, I missed him again. But so it started out on the second one though, on the PS2. And when did the third one come out on PS2? There must have been some point, I don't know why I never played it. I'm not quite sure. It's hard to think back, like, time-wise. I don't know, what am I doing? I'm not moving it to the left enough. The first time I moved it too far to the left. God, that would be horrible if the checkpoint, like, took you all the way back to, like, the beginning of the stealth sequence at this point. Now, that would be, like, really ruthless. I don't even know if I could... Can you please go to the left? Shift left. That's too far. I don't know, right now it seems like I can only play anything if it's on PS4. I mean, my PS3 is in a closet. Not far from me, but I can't fit both of the systems on the table in front of me, and all of the wires are in back of a heavy dresser, so it's kind of hard to... Alright, I feel like I hit him there. I don't know. No, I think these are the same people who made this game, made the Resident Evil games. Wow. I should have counted how many times I'm dying like here. This all adds on to my death toll. Which, when I get to the end of this, it'll say how many times I died, and really, it'll probably be off. It's probably more, actually, because, you know, one time I did the broadcast, for instance, and I stopped during Chapter 12 because I was getting frustrated on a section that I was dying. I died a few times. And I took a break and came back to it, so I don't know if those deaths, like, counted into it. To tell you the truth, I thought I would have the most trouble on the rocket launcher sequence because I've had that sequence happen and the creature just crawled up to me and killed me, and I have no idea how I got through that quickly, and I'm having trouble with the other two instead. I guess this has happened during this playthrough though. Sections I'm anticipating to be more problematic or less, and then I'm not thinking of other ones, and I don't know why this is so bad. Okay. No, when it splatters blood on the screen, it's a death. You have to hit him, like, directly, I guess. I mean, the mouth always closes on you, but, like, when I hit him that time, I could see, like, when I fired and hit him, I think even, maybe blood spurted out of his chest, I'm not sure. It just seems like you have to hit him in the right place. And thanks. Thanks. We'll never see how many times I died. Well,
I created this world.
It's almost over.
You cannot keep me here. Ruvik.
I'm not sure. I sort of feel like
I'm going to finish this.
you see how he's like, I'm gonna finish this? You feel like something monumental is gonna happen, but it sort of feels like kind of, I don't know if anticlimactic is the right word, but again, maybe, I don't know, it makes sense. It's like, you throw this on the ground and it's, oh. I could stand here for like 3 hours and do nothing, but really, you just smash a brain. That's...
Vital signs, sir.
Leave that one. And those two. They're not going anywhere.
That's not nice, Kidman.
No one can.
I mean, I'm supposed to think the downloadable content I'm supposed to play as Kidman. No one can? No one can leave? I really like this game. The thing is that I don't know. Have you ever played like? Because it's sort of like you're coming in at the final part. If you see the entire game like the way it goes, there's a lot of parts that are there's parts that are stealth oriented, slow, and very quiet, and things sometimes jump out. Chapter 15 has more of a I don't know, there's just a lot going on. I mean, enemies flying everywhere. It's like the last gauntlet section, the last boss fight, and there's a lot of like visually stunning things in this that I like. The actual story, the narration, the characters, the dialogue isn't very you know, isn't really like intense or the best. Like,
Go, go, go! Detective, are you all right? Is there anyone else?
Just give me some real fresh air.
yeah, you can't. You walked in on the. I didn't mean to spoil it if you were. I've been broadcasting like a live since like the first chapter, playing on this mode, and this is the last. This is actually the end. So what, you unhook yourself from the shared consciousness machine? Ruvik got away through Leslie, and I guess that's probably not exactly what I mean, it's kind of hard to... Alright. I think this game is on both, you know, generations. I mean, it's on, like, for instance, the PS3 and PS4. I know there's a lot of games on the PS4 that are on the PS3 as well. I mean, I look back on these, this is like part 19. I have no idea how long I've, like, broadcast-wise. I should add up all the time and see how, like, much it is. When I beat this on this mode the first time, the time at the end, it said it took me 46 hours. And I died about 700 times. Yeah, no problem. I just started streaming recently, so I always enjoy chatting when I can. I mean, sometimes, like when I'm in tense situations, I'm sort of staring at the screen in front of me. But now I'm at a point like where I don't know what to play next. I have beaten it on this mode before. It'll be interesting to, I guess, see for a moment. Maybe I'll skip this. How many times I died. Well, you get the machine gun on every mode. You get the rocket launcher if you beat it on any mode. Sadly, that, I don't know, everything seems to be happening so quickly. Just, I'm comparing it to even when I was younger, like, that, it's just... I can't imagine, like, for people older than me, too, like, that, how... As far as time, the amount of time going by between things, it just seems like something within a year or two can happen that's big, that in the past might have taken 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. It's just See, this doesn't look great. When you see this, like, if you beat it on Nightmare or AKUMU mode, you'll get brass knuckles. You won't get this on any other mode. You'll get the rocket launcher and machine gun, but, you probably look at this and be like, what, this is my only reward? These things are fun as hell to play with. This is like way better than the rocket launcher. I mean, you go back on New Game Plus, especially if you just put it on easy mode. If you're gonna do a quick in the dead, try to get the trophy and beat this game under 5 hours, makes it a lot easier. All you gotta do is run around and punch enemies in the face. I mean, the normal enemies, their heads will literally explode when you punch them. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that gets me is like how much, I don't know, it's just the idea of me even like, you know, I have this phone in my room that, you know, I remember being in high school and like, you know, people walking around with beepers, and it was kind of, you know, the cool thing. And now I have a phone that can like shoot video, and I can play games on, and I can surf the internet with. It's like having a computer in my pocket. And there's a, you know, I remember seeing a commercial one time. There's a little girl in a car with her mother. I forget what the commercial was for. It's not even relevant. It's just like they're passing by all these empty buildings and places, like these big places. And she asks like what they are, and the mother says something about them being, well, that's where people used to go, like, to shop. And she was referring to malls and things like that. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, that can happen. What if everybody's just at home and just shops literally from the television, like, all the time, and nobody goes anywhere anymore? Like I couldn't imagine something like that happening when I was in high school, so. Well, I have to say, again, you could probably add 20 deaths or more to that, just because of, you know, if I stopped the broadcast after dying a few times and reloaded the save, maybe it didn't count it, but the first time I played, it was 600 and something, close to 700 deaths. Even the concept, even thinking of the word apps, like how commonplace it is just kind of, you know, I think not even relatively speaking long ago, like that word wasn't even conventional, or that didn't make any, that wasn't even a part of, you know, everyday life. But the total clear time isn't that much different from my first playthrough, but again, I mean, I've been doing this on a live broadcast the whole time, so I chat with people on the side. So sometimes I'll just walk around in circles in the game while I'm chatting. I'm not even moving far, which is fine. I don't, it's not a big, I can't really measure what the total clear time would be otherwise, but the number of times dying is probably, you know, maybe 490 to 500. If I'm thinking that when I reloaded a checkpoint a couple of times, you know, after taking a break, I don't know if it counted those deaths, the deaths that happened prior to that, so. I mean, that's better than my first playthrough. It was, like I said, about around 700. It was 600 something deaths. But. Man, I can't even believe it. The first time I went through this mode. Yeah, in chapter 14, I did, yeah. But it's interesting though, because one of the enjoyable aspects about doing this is chatting with other people. The other thing is, it is hard to imagine, but I mean, I say this, like, when I played this on this mode the first time, like, you know, when it was just me, I was getting the trophy, or trying to. Like, there were times I got so frustrated, I was literally screaming at the television. It just reminds me of, like, when I was younger, like, playing Nintendo games. And I guess it's hard to imagine, because my voice a lot of times is very monotone, and part of it's also being, like, you know, I'm aware I'm broadcasting and talking. I'm not gonna really... And maybe it's just the idea of chatting too makes everything less frustrating and more calm. I mean, it's something that I'm doing at the same time. And it's not just me staring at the screen, alone with my thoughts. And if I'm in a situation dying over and over again, it gets kind of... I don't know, it's really just me speaking about this difficulty level in particular, though. Because playing on survival is not like that. And for me, this was like the hardest trophy I ever got. I really think it took me about as long to get just this one trophy as it did to get most of the trophies, the other trophies in this game. Yeah, in Chapter 14 I did that, in Chapter... I mean, the thing is yesterday I went through Chapter 13. You know, in Chapter 12... but there wasn't really many people, or, you know, like 1 or 2 people would come in the room sometimes. And, so basically, you know, I wound up kind of just talking to myself, or like, sometimes like going along with the video, like if I have tips or I'm pointing out something in the situation, just doing that, but, I got through Chapter 13, it seemed pretty quickly. Actually, that's what I got. I got a PS4 bundle, and I got it like around Thanksgiving because they had some special, and so I got the PS4, and it came with Grand Theft Auto 5, which I have a platinum on the PS3 for. But I just I transferred my character on. I haven't really played it that much, but it also came with The Last of Us remastered, at least a digital version that I could get, and that's... In the past few months, the games I've played, like I played that, and there was another game that I played, Tomb Raider, and I played this. But the mic I got with it, I'm not quite sure. The thing is that what happened for me is that I originally tried to broadcast with, like, there's a mic I have here, although I probably never, I don't know if I connected it to the PS4 and it's still like connected to the PS3. When I had that mic though, I mean, I remember playing in a game and people could barely hear me, and the thing about it was having the mic was, like, that's all I've ever used. I never used like a headset like the one I have. The one that's on my head right now, I've never done this before, where, you know, I've had the audio being outputted right to my ears. And, I mean, it's a lot better because the thing is that even when I was able to use one of my mics and people could hear me, the problem is I had to turn down the volume all the way on my television because it would just probably get loud over the mic, and there was that, I just wound up really, I mean, I think what happened is I did a broadcast at some point, and I thought like maybe a mic was working. Maybe I just didn't hook it up right or something, or I think this happened, and I don't know if any audio came out, or... The cool thing about what the headset I got now, too, is that I can always test it beforehand. Before I go broadcasting, I could just go to the PS screen and go to the microphone level, and I can hear myself through the mic and adjust the volume. Like, I can just hear my own voice come on the screen right after I speak. You know, there's a whole, like, volume adjuster, like, directly on the thing, like, I can hold in my hand right here, if I need to, like, for the game itself, but, But I always do that before I go on the broadcast. I just go on into the devices and I hit the microphone level, and I can hear myself talking it, so I kind of know that it's working. Yeah, the great me. I have no idea. I mean, I think I'm just gonna maybe do what you said. I mean, I should probably peruse like some of the free games. But see, that's the thing. One of the reasons I started broadcasting too, it was kind of spontaneous, but I think it was like it had to do with how much time I invested in this particular game because I played 3 of them and it took me so long to get all the trophies, and really just because beating it on this mode, that I thought to myself, like, with all this time, just, you know, I know I got all the trophies, but at this point, I don't know, maybe I just thought, like, it would be good to, like, try something different, and, like, maybe try this live broadcasting thing, and especially with all the time I put into this game, and I don't know, I enjoy it. So I don't know if, so I imagine, like, whatever game, like, I chose to play next, if I live broadcast it, I'd probably wind up playing it first for a while and getting accustomed to it. That's the thing, I'm not sure. Like, that's the thing I kept thinking to myself, too. Because I did 2 other broadcasts with this game before I decided to do this playthrough on AKUMU. And one of them is literally just... It's like a quick and the dead speed run, and I do it with the brass knuckles. And I wound up doing it actually in one sitting. It's like a 5-hour... Like, the elapsed time on the broadcast is 5 hours and something. And I beat the game under 5 hours, but I used the brass... I just run through it. I just did it in one playthrough, but so I should probably check out some of those free games and see what... And you mentioned, you know, the Alien Isolation game. That sounds interesting. I kind of wish the downloadable content was already available for this game, because that would make it kind of easier for me at this point. Considering, like, all the controls will probably be the same. And it won't be as hefty as going through 15 chapters on AKUMU mode. I mean, I could probably... Because I got this game... I don't know when I got this. A month or 2 ago, or 2 months ago? I'm not sure. Maybe it was 2 months or a month and a half. I don't know, and there is a thing inside of it. I never actually used the code to get... There is something that was inside of it so you can get the downloadable weapons. Like, when people will talk about incendiary and poison bolts. And I don't have any of those, but I can get them, but there is something it mentions in there about some downloadable, something about another story, like where you play as Kidman. It's gonna be kind of like you know, in addition to the game, and apparently I guess it's not out yet. I don't know. I mean, people were chatting and I brought that up, or maybe somebody else brought it up first, because maybe it was me in chapter 13 when I was like talking to myself, that I was thinking, well, it would be great if the downloadable content came out, because it would be just much more easier for me to transition to something where the controls would be the same. It would be the same atmosphere. It would be it wouldn't be something I'd have to adjust to. But apparently it doesn't seem to be out yet, and I don't know, I don't have any idea when it's going to come out. I guess I should just look it up, but I will. I mean, I can look... I'll probably just wind up perusing definitely some of the free games. I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't be worthwhile. I mean, they're free, and if I didn't like it, then it wouldn't be a big deal. I should doing some multiplayer games would be fun too, I could find something that I really enjoy. I mean, I always enjoyed playing Grand Theft Auto when I did multiplayer, but the other interesting aspect is having this microphone, this headset now, because I've never had a headset like this, so so far what I've utilized it for is for live broadcasting and playing this on single mode, so I haven't really, delved into multiplayer, and I can talk to other people, and which beforehand I had the microphone and sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't, and I wound up really not using it. And it makes things a lot easier because especially like sometimes if I was in an event, like when I played in Grand Theft Auto, like when I was in a crew, like I was in a creator crew. I made races, like a lot of bike races. Nothing like I didn't. The thing is like if other people come into the room and they have mics and I don't have a mic, or somebody's asked a question, like it just takes me too long to try to use the text chat thing or use and click buttons to answer a question. It just seems this would be a lot easier. Really? What is it about the PS4? Have you played online on the PS3? I don't know, I guess I haven't been even playing online much too, now that I think about it, like, since I've got the PS4. Yeah, I said something about I did transfer my character for Grand Theft Auto, and I think the only thing I did was I made another race in the creator, and then I don't know what it was. Maybe I realized like at that point how many more people potentially, like especially when I was looking at my crew, were actually on the PS3 as opposed to being on the higher generation systems, and or maybe at that point maybe I was just kind of like I just felt like doing something else and playing another game. Which I did, and then it was The Last of Us, and then I wound up buying. I bought Tomb Raider and The Evil Within at the same time. And Tomb Raider wasn't that much money. It's an older game. And I've played some of those. The first Tomb Raider, what came out on the first PlayStation. So I just, Yeah. Well, that is one thing. The PS3 has all free online. I guess I don't mind the price, though, with the PS4 thing and what it's doing. Because I guess the benefit, too, like, of having the Plus is, like, I mean, if you didn't have Plus... Well, you can't go online. I mean, you can't play online on PS4 without it, of course, but, one thing I guess I didn't think about that actually kind of eases my mind too is having the availability of the cloud to save my game save files, because I remember, I mean, especially playing on this mode and how long it took me. I mean, I would always like upload my save files to the cloud, because I thought to myself, if something happens, especially like thinking of the weather, the power lines go down and then the PS4 gets cut off. If I lost my game's save file and I was already like 30 hours into the game, like, and I just lost it all, like, it would just be... Yeah, I liked having a free online. I guess I hope that... I don't know what I hope. Does the I mean, does having the PlayStation Plus? I mean, I know it gives you the cloud too. Is that the reason why you can also get free games? I mean, you can. I mean, if I was on the PS3, like I obviously I can go online for free. But without a PlayStation Plus membership, there would be no way. I mean, would I be able to even access and get free games on the PS3 unless I had the PS Plus membership? I mean, is that prerequisite to actually accessing free games? Hmm. Then again, some of the free games though, like I've watched videos before and sometimes they'll show like a thing like for free games that are coming out during a month and it'll show games that are coming out on PS3 and then different ones coming out on PS4. I'm not sure why they just don't have them come out on both systems. Like I saw a game I think that was going to come on the PS3 and I was thinking to myself like, well, I might be interested in playing that, but I don't understand why it's not going to come out on the PS4. I mean, I mean, thinking to myself like the PS4 obviously can handle it. You know, being a next generation system, I don't understand. Like, I don't know why it can't be on both systems. Some of the games, I don't know. Yeah, so even like if we're talking about the free games, if I was on PS3, like I wouldn't even be able to access it otherwise unless I already had the membership. But like I was saying, I kind of wish like when I saw that video or see games coming out that are free for the month or maybe even discounted, like why some of them coming out on the PS3 aren't on the PS4. You know, if they decide to release, you know, an older game even that was on the PS2 or why they just don't make it available, I don't know. Well, that could be the case, I guess. I guess it's too a matter of the PS4 not being like, I mean the PS3 has been around a lot longer and I could just, I should be kind of used to the way it works. Like usually when a new system comes out I don't get it immediately. Or at least the ones now, and that's, I mean I didn't get a PS3 and immediately when it came out. I mean I got it, I don't know when, how long. I mean when I got the PS4 bundle like the last Thanksgiving, but it was already out for, hasn't it been out for, it was already out for at least a year at that point, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not good with time. But when I go to the store now, like if I happen to be out, like I have an appointment tomorrow, and if I go to a store, especially like a GameStop type place or something, it's kind of overwhelming to like look at all like the PS3 games that are available, and then I look at the PS4 and there's just not many, you know, out there, and I can't play any of the PS3 games on my PS4 because there's no backwards compatibility. Which again, I'm saying this, I have a PS3 still in my closet, but I just can't, I mean, if I take it out, I mean, I can't really fit it adequately on the table in front of me, and even if I do, there's just too many wires, and the way it's hooked up, like, just... Well, I guess it's okay. I mean, just the fact that there are games on there that are free is good to know, because I should just check those out. And in a way, it's like saying, I mean, they are free, but there's a charge. I mean, like, if you need the PlayStation Plus account to access the free games, so So in the end, I mean, I guess it's not a lot of money. Like, what is it, like $50 a year for PlayStation Plus? And, you know, the online play, that goes into it, but then I guess you get the cloud storage, I mean, which sort of, like, I really liked, especially I figured out when playing on this mode, like, saving the game to the cloud, that was just the idea of having my file erased, like, after investing so much time in it was a little bit, would have been distressing to me. And the idea, like, I can access now games that are, you know, free. I mean, yeah, backwards. I actually, the first PlayStation 3, because I own two consoles, because one of them, I don't know, I had to get a new one at one point. There was something wrong with the Blu-ray laser, so I don't know. I remember I had to get it fixed 3 times. I had a PS3 that was originally when I bought it, it was used. It wasn't even used that much, and it was fine. You want to know? It was fine until I, at some point, wound up playing like one game, and it just seemed like this one game must have. I don't know. At that point, something happened with the lens, and then when I got it back when it was fixed, I kept playing the same game and it broke again. It's like the one game I was playing was screwing with it or something, and I had one of those ones that like shiny black PS3s, like it looked like piano black, and it actually had some backwards compatibility. Not fully, but it could play some PS2 games. I don't think I even ever used it for that purpose, but it did have it. And then I had to wind up getting another PS3 because that one just was causing, it just wasn't working right anymore. And the newer PS3s had no backwards compatibility, I believe, so. So you don't have PlayStation Plus, but wait, how do you play multiplayer games then? Do you just play on PS3? So do you Oh, so the only way you play multiplayer mostly on PS3, but you can play it on PS4 if the games are free? Or oh, that's interesting. I wound up like getting the. I mean, I knew I was gonna get the PlayStation Plus for the online because when I first got it, I mean, the first thing I did was the whole transfer and thing with the one game. which I was playing online a lot and utilizing the creator. I mean, it is kind of like transitional. I mean, it is weird because like PS3 is, you know, totally free online. I don't know, I guess it's like for me not that bad. I like kind of like I like the cloud aspect and like maybe some of the benefits, like, you know, maybe I've more free games I can access. I don't know. I never really thought about it too much because I guess it was just you know, a you know, one yearly fee of $50. Yeah, I kind of wish. I mean, well, I think anybody would want it to be free. I wonder what. But I guess I mean, in the end, it's. I guess when I look at it, like price-wise, it's not really that bad. I mean, even when I think of it this way, like when I was saying some games, like the price of them and how they can just last forever, especially if you play multiplayer. I mean, you know, there's some games I could just keep playing for like months. It just seems like a lot of games are like more than worth the price. But I just wish that since like I mean I do have PlayStation Plus, and a lot of the reason I got it was so I could play online. That it's just kind of like what I said, when I go to the store, you know, I see there's obviously going to be a lot more PS3 games because it's been out for forever, but even a lot of the PS4 games I see that they're also available on the PS3. So I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more games. I guess it just hasn't. But again, I say that, but then again, I'm saying before, like, I'm thinking to myself of games I'm anticipating, and then I can't think of which ones to buy, because I know, like, when I play them, they sort of last a long time, and it's hard to. I usually don't switch from one thing to another. No, it's understandable. I'm not. I guess I thought, I don't know, if I thought, I guess if I wasn't able to get PlayStation Plus, because I was at first concerned a lot about the multiplayer and being able to go online because of what I was doing on Grand Theft Auto, that I don't know if I would have switched as soon as I did if I wasn't gonna get the PlayStation Plus. But since I was able to get it, then I, you know, wound up switching. Meaning I could have, like, gotten the PS4 bundle like I did, but not hooked it up, and just kept playing PS3 for a while. I mean, I kind of wish it was easier for me to have both systems on the table, so I could switch from one to the other, but it just doesn't seem feasible the way, like, my table's set up and how I would do that, and with all the wires behind the dresser, how would, if I would have to keep, like, I don't know, moving the dresser, which is kind of heavy, and trying to switch all of them. I don't know if I can just hook up both of them at the same time without having to, like, change. I see. I probably wouldn't have known either, but I have another family member who has had a PS4 for a while, like probably since when it first came out. So, and they already I mean, I already knew that there was some kind of like plus membership for it because they had it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have even known. I mean, in that regard, if I hadn't known about it, like, and hooked it up and then saw, like, wait a minute, that I had to pay for it, it would have been, I guess, different for me. But I guess I already had a heads up on that, because, like I said, I know another family member's had it since, like, it first came out, so I just sort of knew about that, and yeah, that's cool. I mean, I was about to say soon, like, close to the same thing. I'm probably gonna have to go to sleep soon. Primarily because, I mean, it's not early, but I have some appointment tomorrow. So I'll probably wind up perusing some of those free games and seeing what's available, or I don't know, figuring something out. I'll see what I'll move on to next. Again, I kind of wish the downloadable content for this, the extra added story mode was available. It would just make it easier, 'cause I know all the controls for this and everything. But I'll talk to you soon, because I'm probably gonna go to sleep soon too. I mean, I feel good that I got through the whole thing. I mean, I've been, broadcasting like this whole playthrough. So you can see this is like the 19th part. The elapsed time is like over 3 hours right now. Like a lot of these parts like are about this long. Some of them shorter, some of them longer. It always depends. It depends on if I'm chatting with people, or it depends on, sometimes if there's nobody in the room, then, well, then sometimes I just wind up talking to myself and it's still, the time still elapses. Yeah, thanks. Actually, I should check that. It was 3 degrees before, but right now it's probably actually worse. Right now, well, it still says it's the same out. 3 degrees. So it's consistently terrible. 3 degrees. It doesn't seem like, I don't hear like anything on the windows though. It doesn't, I don't know, I'm hoping it's not really windy out. It's really the wind that bothers me. I mean, the wind chill makes it feel a lot worse. If it's 3 degrees and there's no wind, I'm not saying that's great or anything, but it feels a hell of a lot worse if the wind's like just smashing in your face at that point. So I'll talk to you later. I'll let you get to sleep, because I'm probably gonna do the same myself at some point. You know, within the next hour. So, have a good night. They'll probably end the broadcast soon. This is the end of, like, my AKUMU mode playthrough. Okay. Can't tell if you're still there. But I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I'll just end the broadcast at this point. And this is the end of my playthrough of this game on AKUMU mode. And again, I hope you have a good night. And not sure what I'll do next, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. So, wow, I'm really, I'm glad I got through all of this. Again. Number of deaths. So this is part 19, which happens to be the final part. Never know if I'm gonna get through a chapter, you know. As it's a live broadcast, I mean, I can end up in a situation where I just continually die over and over, which is fine. And I just, if I need a break, I can do that, and I split it up into parts, but at this point I've completed the playthrough entirely, so I'm just kind of in my head thinking, I don't know what to do next. But I'll figure something out. And as of right now, every part of this broadcast is still available in the Twitch archives. They're only up for 2 weeks. I just export every part to my YouTube. That's the only way I know how I can keep it. You know, permanently, unless I craft highlights out of this, but I haven't gotten into that or done anything like that. So, well, this is the end of, again, my playthrough of The Evil Within on AKUMU mode. For everybody who's watched, thank you. For everybody who's chatted, I've enjoyed chatting. And perhaps I'll come back and I'll broadcast a playthrough or parts of another game, or I'll do something with this game differently. Perhaps when the downloadable content comes out, or unless I could figure something out to do. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I got a platinum on this, and for me, I don't know, beating it on this difficulty or getting this particular trophy, which this is my second playthrough, but I mean, getting this trophy was probably, I mean, for me, it was like the hardest trophy I ever got. I found this to be really, really difficult. I mean, I haven't played like 2,000 games, so this is really... I feel like if you didn't need this trophy to get the platinum, beating it on this difficulty level, then it would have been much easier to platinum this game. But, yeah, I mean, I've been doing a live broadcast since Chapter 1 of this, and this is my second playthrough on this. And it just so happens that I've completed it just tonight, or, well, it's early in the morning where I am now, but, so what I'm probably going to do is wind up ending the broadcast, and probably, I haven't figured out even what I'm going to do next, if I, broadcast something, what I'll do. I'll probably wind up, like, playing another game, but I'm not even sure, like, which one right now. But I'm gonna have to, go to sleep. There's, like, some appointment tomorrow. And for the first time, for this entire playthrough, I don't really have a choice to, go to the next chapter or consider it. It's like I finally reached the end. I mean, of course I could hit the X button and go to a new game plus, but, this whole thing's just been about playing through this mode from the beginning, from a fresh start, not on a new game plus, and I did upgrades along the way, and, chatted with people along the way, and I really like the experience overall. I enjoy chatting with others. Whenever I have tips, or suggestions, recommendations, I'll say so. But I also, like, listen to other people and try out other things, because it becomes obvious if you look over on my past videos and times, like, I kept dying, or bosses, like, I thought, well, I could have done, not even bosses, just situations I could have done more efficiently, and I just don't know any other way, a better way to get through it. So, on that note, I really enjoyed this, and this has been helpful, and thanks to everybody who's watched and contributed and chatted with me, and hopefully I'll see you soon. So, I'm going to end this broadcast now. My name is Brian, and good night.